August 10th, 2026, Brookdale Senior Living, the country's largest senior living operator, filed a report with federal regulators. That same filing tripped an automated alarm built to catch cyber breaches. Brookdale runs care for nearly 46,000 residents across 41 states, and the number inside that filing was $23 million in profit. So which story is true? And why did an earnings report sound like a breach notice at all? Here's the paper trail. On August 10th, Brookdale filed a Form 8K with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Federal filings check specific numbered boxes, like a report form, not a confession. This one checked 3. Item 2.02, Results of Operations. Item 7.01, a disclosure rule. Item 9.01, Financial Exhibits. There was no Item 1.05, the box for a material cybersecurity incident. Think of Item 105 like a fire department report. If there's an actual fire, the department has to file it. Box checked, incident on record. Item 2.02 is the ordinary quarterly report every public company sends, whether or not anything happened. Regulators built these boxes so investors can tell financial routine from a real cyber incident. Brookdale's incident box stayed empty. So who is Brookdale? Headquartered in Brentwood, Tennessee, it calls itself the nation's premier operator of senior living communities. As of June 30th, 2026, 541 communities, 41 states, capacity for roughly 46,000 residents. Every one of those residents has medical records, social security numbers, and insurance data inside Brookdale's systems, which makes Brookdale a HIPAA-covered entity, the same rules that bind hospitals. Here's the first turn. The phrase that triggered our alarm, cybersecurity attack or breach, wasn't Brookdale confessing to anything. It was sitting inside the earnings release's own safe harbor warning, boilerplate language every public company includes, listed a few lines from a mention of Form 8K. An algorithm matched the words. It didn't read the sentence. Brookdale's own paperwork says its cyber house is more than habit. Its latest annual filing lists a Chief Information Security Officer, CSO, reporting to a Chief Information Officer with 25+ years in healthcare IT. The CSO holds the CSSB and CSA certifications, with a decade in healthcare cybersecurity, a written incident response plan, and board oversight. And this line, straight from the filing, past cybersecurity incidents have not materially affected the company. That sentence is doing a lot of work because Brookdale isn't operating in a quiet industry. Through 2025 and 2026, senior care operators kept landing in ransomware headlines, while Brookdale's own earnings call, held August 11th, spent its time on occupancy rates and refinancing, not incident response. Zero cyber questions came up on that call. To see what Brookdale is watching for, look at what already hit its competitors, not Brookdale, but 2 other senior living operators whose timelines show exactly how these breaches tend to unfold. First, Legend Senior Living. Unauthorized access into its network between July 27th and August 15th, 2025. Second, a group calling itself WorldLeaks claimed the attack. Third, months of silence while the investigation ran. Fourth, notification. In April 2026, the Texas Attorney General confirmed 5,006 residents affected. Access, claim, silence, notice. That gap between the breach and the letter is where the real damage compounds. Windward Life Care, a separate senior services provider in California, followed a similar arc. A group called Shinobi claimed responsibility. Notifications went out in April 2026 after a 2025 intrusion, months of silence, then a letter. A third operator, Rocky Mountain Care, disclosed its own ransomware attack in March 2026. The Cheelan Group claimed that one. 3 senior care operators. 3 ransomware claims. 0 of them named Brookdale. Second turn, 46,000 residents. 541 communities, 3 direct competitors already notifying customers, and Brookdale's own filing still reads, not material. That's not a lie. It's a bet. That scale alone doesn't guarantee the next senior living breach lands here first. Here's why that bet matters to real people. Senior living residents are among the highest value identity targets in the country. Full medical histories, insurance numbers, and guardianship paperwork, often filed by family members who trust the facility completely. A stolen record here doesn't just get sold. It gets used against someone who may never see the notification letter, let alone understand it. That's the quiet stake inside every senior living server. Not a credit card number, but a person's full identity at an age when rebuilding it is hardest. Follow the money Brookdale actually reported this quarter. Revenue, $718.6 million. Adjusted earnings, $122.1 million, up 4.3% year-over-year. Liquidity on hand, $565.8 million, including $370.4 million in unrestricted cash. That's a balance sheet built to absorb occupancy dips, refinancing, acquisitions. What it hasn't been tested against yet is a ransomware notice at its own scale. One more number worth watching: Brookdale's own community count. 584 communities at the end of 2025, 541 by June of 2026, a drop from selling and closing sites. Fewer communities can mean tighter oversight. It can also mean legacy technology scattered across facilities that already changed hands, running on IT support nobody centrally tracks anymore. Third turn. If a real Brookdale cyber incident ever happens, here's what it will not look like. Risk language buried inside a profit announcement. It will carry its own filing, Item 105, its own 8K, disclosed once the company decides the incident is material. That filing does not exist yet. This one was never it. Open questions worth holding on to. Has Brookdale ever filed a smaller breach report, the kind under 500 people that never makes a headline? If a vendor holding Brookdale's medical records gets hit, whose filing discloses it, the vendors or Brookdale's? Does a shrinking community count lower risk or just scatter it? There's a lesson in how this story even reached us. Our own filings radar is built to catch the words material cybersecurity and Form 8K in the same document. It caught this one because an earnings release used the word breach inside a legal warning. Automation is a net, not a verdict. Somebody still has to read what the net pulls in. Zoom out, and the pattern is bigger than one company. Senior living sits where ransomware crews want to be. Aging systems, high-value medical data, and IT teams stretched thin across hundreds of buildings. Legend, Windward, and Rocky Mountain Care were this year's disclosed cases. They will not be the last. If you have a parent or loved one in senior living, don't wait for a headline. Ask the facility directly. Is there a written incident response plan? Have there been any breach notices, big or small? Turn on account alerts tied to billing and insurance portals. Ask before the letter arrives, not after. For operators like Brookdale, the lesson isn't that boilerplate tripped an algorithm. It's that scale like this, hundreds of communities, tens of thousands of residents, turns not material yet into a clock, not a guarantee. Governance on paper has to keep outrunning the sector's attack rate, year after year, community after community. So no, Brookdale was not hacked in the summer of 2026. This was a filings radar reading boilerplate, not a breach. But the sector around it is not standing still, and the next real Item 105 from a company this size would be one of the largest senior care disclosures on record. Figures in this investigation come from SEC filings, company disclosures, and state attorney general notices. Full links in the description. Which corporate failure should we open the file on next? This has been Corporate Breach, separating the real filing from the false alarm. We'll be watching Brookdale's next one.